Hello, all. Welcome to Down and Down, a rabbit hole podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Buck, and I'm joined by.
Jack, but apparently you're also my butler because the way you said that welcome. Hello, all.
Hello, all.
Welcome.
And we got
Please,
another.
remove your
Another.
shoes.
I kind of feel like maybe I was trying to sound like Delilah.
Delilah.
Hey, everybody. Anyways, we got another guest today. Introduce yourself.
I'm Shelly.
She'd been here before.
She's poking out of her shell to come see us again.
But hopefully all of her hot takes aren't relegated to her experience at a single place this time. But
Is that why I've never been invited back?
No.
It's because you're not interested. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
Just
man.
kidding.
Well,
It's been a minute.
that was way worse than what I was about to say. We gave you
now I
such a
want to
hard
hear
time. I wasn't gonna say anything that bad. But anyways, so today we're gonna talk about how we are critical. Oh wait, that's every episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
Not
about
critical role.
no, not that kind of critical. We are okay. So let's just paint you a picture here.
Come on,
Have you ever
Ross?
There's a little bush right there.
I have a little
And that's
trick.
gonna be our secret.
No.
And if you tell anybody, I will hunt you down. Oh, I'm sorry. A little bit of Family Guy reference there.
Oh, I knew I got it.
But
I did not.
okay, let's paint a picture here. You are a huge fan of some sort of intellectual property. You've been following it for years, and then all of a sudden, Amazon Prime gets a hold of it.
Oh, or Disney.
Not Amazon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then they make it. And then you're angry. And that's what we're going to talk about.
That sums it up
So
very well.
we're going to talk about bad adaptations from intellectual properties today. Let's jump into this rabbit hole.
Down and down the rabbit hole. Just how deep does it go? Where it stops, nobody knows. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole.
So I got a feeling that we're going to have to. Yeah. We're probably going to have to make 2 episodes out of this because there's a lot of content to cover here.
There's a lot.
So for everybody listening, we had a lot of Disney stuff on this. I think we're going to push that to like a part 2 episode.
Yeah.
Of Badaptations. But right now we're going to talk more along the lines of like straight from like books to TV or film or video games or comic books or anime or whatever.
Things that are not Disney trying to do other Disney works.
Right. So I want to start with one. I think you guys have both seen this movie. I am a huge fantasy reader. It's my favorite genre of anything. I read a lot of fantasy books, and I have for a long time. One of the series that I really loved in like high school and college, well, college because I didn't really start reading until I was in college. For fun, I could read before college. Dang it, you beat me to it. He couldn't read until college.
I decided I could read.
I thought it was gonna be important, so I decided to learn to read. So anyways, I started reading a book series called Inheritance. And for people who know what this book series is about,
It's
A
about
lot of
inheriting things.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, sure.
That
It is technically. Um, but a lot of people might more so recognize the first book in the series, which is called Aragon.
Yep.
And it's a book
hmm
about magical dragon riders. And they made a movie with Jeremy Irons and the guy that played Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time. I never can
Did
remember his
he?
name. And all magic has a price.
It comes with a price.
Yeah. And who always plays a villain in everything. And
crazy.
John Malkovich, by the way, was in this movie. That should automatically show you where this movie was headed in direction. John Malkovich was playing like the bad of bads. Uh wow. Anyways, so have you guys both read Aragon? Well, you haven't.
It was
Jack, I know you haven't read Aragon, but
He doesn't read.
Shelley, you have read Aragon,
I
right?
have read
Yes.
some things.
That one book one time.
Yeah. So it's a young adult fantasy series and it follows a young teenage boy named Aragon who stumbles upon a dragon egg, and that
Mhm.
dragon egg hatches, and it sends him through this whole journey of becoming a dragon rider and freeing Allegatia from the evil Galbatorix, which I always thought was such a great villain name. That was John Malcolm.
Galbatorix.
Galbatorix, yeah.
Gal Gadotix.
This is before Gal Gadot
Without
existed.
Oh, before she was ever born. I didn't know.
No, it wasn't. She was definitely alive, but nobody knew she was, so she didn't exist. And before she was born. But so and his dragon was called Saphira because she was blue. But
It's Sapphire.
yeah, Sapphire.
Not to be confused with Ananias and Sapphira or Sapphire, depending on how
No,
you
those are different.
Clear.
She wasn't a liar,
who
but
died.
because of her lies.
Yeah,
But
fell over dead because she lied
Falled
to
over
the Holy
dead.
Spirit.
Yep.
Read your Bible, people. It's also a great book. Actually, it's
a
66
great series of books. Yeah.
It's a great library.
It is
Mhm.
an archive of greatness.
Yes.
What's another way we could say it? It is a collection of fantastic
Them's
literature.
collections.
Anyways, so in Inheritance, it is a very high fantasy world. We're talking like extremely Tolkien-esque
Mhm.
elves, dwarves. There is a race of like creatures called Urgles, which are kind of like they're more like your wild beastly type.
They run around going, "Did I do that?"
Urgles.
Wow.
Very, very large. They
Got any cheese?
they had like ram's horns and that kind of stuff. And they had werecats, which Jack, that seems like something you would like.
Well, I know what a werecat is. They exist in other media.
Yeah, but I particularly think you would like them in this media.
Oh,
yes. And
I remember the movie, and I liked his vest in it.
yeah.
His leather
Yep.
vest thing. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there were these two other monsters in it called the Rozak, which were huge in the freaking book. So, anyways, why is this a bad adaptation? For one, let's just acknowledge all three of us having seen it. Did it feel like it would have aired on the Sci-Fi Channel to anybody else? Like just the production value.
When did it come out?
like 2006.
I'm looking up. 2006, yeah. Um, I don't remember thinking that at the time, but but maybe more so now if I were to go back and look at it. So I
And
can't really say, I can't speak to that.
you've only seen it once, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't remember thinking it when I saw it in theaters, but then I started reading the book and I went back and watched it after that. And it had been a while since I had seen it, and I watched it and I was like, why does this feel like it should air on a television network? Um, but let me I painted you that picture of all the different types of creatures in the fantasy world of Allegatia, correct? You know
Correct.
how many of those creatures made it into the movie?
None.
2.
Dragon.
Dragon and Rozek.
Oh.
There were no elves. There were no dwarves. I guess technically
There's one elf.
nope. She is a red-headed human.
But her ears.
Were round.
That's true.
And
See,
her ears were round. That's true.
Okay.
I thought she was supposed to still be an elf. They just didn't know what to do with her ears.
Yeah, if that's what they thought, then they freaking had already come out with Lord of the
Please
Rings.
don't ever make fun of my voices again if you do that. If that's true, that she was. I don't think I started talking about this. I mean, sound like Fat Albert.
But if freaking Lord of the Rings, all they had to do was at least give her a little bit of ear tips. Give me a freaking break.
Hey, can I tell you what that reminds me of, and you already know? But
we'll go ahead.
Once upon a time, we did a Star Wars short film, and I was supposed to be an alien that had these really pointed ears, and the production people did not get them for me, and so they tried to put putty on my ears.
Or they got these like really huge bulbous over the entire
ears. And we were just like, forget it.
We'll just put makeup on him.
So
and not even like prosthetic makeup, just
no
face art.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's what it made me think of.
So yeah. That's
our Badaptation.
It was didn't even see the light of day. We never finished it. Because they lost stuff.
And now there are people who were in that are no longer with us.
Oh, there is. That's weird. Thanks for that depressing bit of information.
I'm gonna silence.
Moving on.
That was a quick moment of silence.
So yeah,
a moment, not a minute.
Just a second. Not even that.
So Aragon is one of your major ones that
it is, and also
that for you.
Aragon in the freaking movie is this blonde-headed, brown-eyed kid. Not what Aragon looks like. Let me just
in detail.
Yeah, because it's Spielers, is that his name? Spielers plays him in the movie.
Sure.
Who plays like, is that the only thing you've ever seen him play?
No, he was in Downton.
He was in Downton Abbey. He was in, I didn't watch Highlander, but I know he was in that.
He was in Highlander?
Uh-huh. Or I think that's what it
Outlander.
Outlander, that's what it was. Sorry, Outlander.
I was like,
that's what I was meaning.
Been in Highlander.
No. I meant Outlander, but Highlander came out.
I was like, he must have been a kid. But
So for me, one of the first ones that I really had. So that movie came out in 2006. Well, in 2007, another movie came out that I had read the book to, and I was kind of anticipating the book coming out. I mean, the movie coming out because I had read the book, and that was Blood and Chocolate, which is about
Yummy.
Great combination.
werewolves. The whole thing is about
Yeah.
werewolves. Well, because we they liked blood and they like chocolate. They're human, but they're wolves.
Well, she
So
like she particular the character like loved chocolate, correct?
I don't remember all that. I don't actually remember them ever making a real draw to that in the book. But they use the characters' names in the movie. All the characters that are mentioned in the book, they use those names, but they're not the same characters. They made completely different characters. And I remember watching this and being like, this is not a horrible story, but it's not the same story. Why did we even call it the same thing?
Oh, I think I saw this movie. Are you sure it's not called X-Men? Sorry. Fox's X-Men.
Oh, hey, X-Men, we loved X-Men when it first came out.
We did. And then we became knowledgeable.
We did. I still have a bit of nostalgia for them versus like Aragon. I still have
Yeah.
I can now and to this day, I still think Nightcrawler, the opening sequence for the second movie is one of the best opening movies.
Mhm.
It is. But we've always been critical of the stupidness of what he looked like.
Yes, yes, with the scars and all that kind of stuff.
And then the
Yes.
freaking Twisted Sister, all his teeth are filed.
Sister was a
What's that guy's
band of
name? What's
men
that guy's
dressed as
name?
women.
What was the
What?
frontman's name?
On Twist from Twisted Sister.
Yeah, because he filed his teeth at one point,
Did
and they were pointed. Yeah.
um that was D. Snyder.
D. Snyder. Yeah, he filed his teeth all to points at one point as a gimmick to try to get people to like him again.
I don't think I
Didn't
even
work.
realized that.
And but anyway, Blood and Chocolate. I didn't mean to derail us away from it.
No, I mean, that's just one of the early ones. And I really couldn't tell you a whole lot because after I watched that movie, I was so. I never went back and watched it
It was
again.
supposed to kind of go the same, like it was in the same genre as Twilight, wasn't it? It was supposed to kind of feed
Yeah,
off of that
kind
whole
of.
momentum.
Yeah, kind
Now,
of, which is
I feel
also
like
a
I
bad
remember you
adaptation
telling
of its
me,
own.
yeah. I feel like I remember you telling me that it was all about like werewolf, like society structure, and the
Yeah, I
main character
remember
falls in love with a human, right?
she, yes, and there was a werewolf, and I believe his name was Rafe, who was in love with her. Again, I haven't picked this book up or this movie up since it came out. The movie came out in 2007,
It didn't do
and
well.
we're in the year 2006,
Never heard of it.
2026. So we're almost 20 years past it, but it didn't do great. But the book I remember enjoying. I could probably pick that book up now and think it was the worst thing. I don't know. But I
But
remember like she trapped herself in the bathroom during what was supposed to be like her change, and like there was these dramatic scenes, and it was really good. Or somebody had trapped her in there, and there was a lot that was happening in that one book.
Here's a question.
Okay.
In the book, did they turn into like monstrous werewolves,
I don't
or
know
did they
that
turn into wolves?
I think that they were wolves.
Okay, because in the movie they just turned into wolves, right?
I think that they were just wolves, and but I would have to go back. Um, but yeah, but the story that plays out in the book is nothing like the story that we got in the movie.
Well, she
And
ends up with a totally different person, doesn't she?
yes, and here's the thing. I think all this goes in because you talked about Aragon, and it's a book that gets a completely different story. And this is Blood and Chocolate, which was a
Ish.
book that gets a completely different story. And y'all know, y'all know Beverly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Beverly has a shirt that she wears that says the book was better.
It's usually the truth.
Almost every single time.
Even for the adaptations that are really good, like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, like the books are still better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no
And
doubt about it.
so while we're here, let's dance upon Harry Potter a little bit because
Sure.
there's a new one coming out
Yeah.
Ugh.
to
TBD.
which Snape is black and you cannot do that.
No.
Because
And
it's made
nobody's
the
happy about
bullying
it.
that happens to Snape be be a race issue
Yeah.
when it's he's a you know, instead of he's just being bullied
Yeah.
by a jerk.
And the dude's way too attractive.
And yeah,
Well,
I
isn't
mean,
he
so not only
described?
is he black,
Isn't
but
he described though?
he's too attractive to play the character. He's an attractive black
Yeah.
man. We need
What
we
what are you say? What did you say, Shelley?
Isn't he described in the book as to how he's supposed to look? Right.
yes.
Well, there are illustrations of how he looks in the book.
Right.
And he actually has facial hair in the book, but he's supposed to have greasy, long, shoulder lengthish hair and sallow skin, which implies that his skin is actually yellowish.
Yeah.
But unhealthily
He's a
yellowish.
Simpson.
Hmm.
And a hook nose.
Hmm.
All of which the guy that they chose, none
Has
of
none
that.
of.
None of it.
None of that. I mean, they may give him like a wig or hair extensions to make him have shoulder length hair, but
Now there were
it's
issues in the original Harry Potters.
yeah,
So you know they had to do away with some characters. They had to combine some characters,
they had
Hmm.
to change some actors because
actors.
some died.
Yeah, and then the little it's like a little dwarf guy.
House elf.
They changed his whole image. No, the
Oh, you're talking about Flitwick.
Flitwick. Yeah,
Yeah, they did change his
they
whole image.
they changed his whole image from like the first two. After
Yeah,
that, and so there's some things that happen
I think we
within
actually
those.
get an illustration of Flitwick at some point in the books, but I'm not 100% sure.
But as far as the originals go, I think my biggest issues come after the main series when you get into like the whole Newt Scamander stuff. When you get into, you know, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, there's a whole lot of, I think,
Continental continuity.
continuity problems that happen.
There are. For example, Dumbledore was never the defense against the dark arts teacher. He was transfiguration teacher.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, McGonagall could not have been there at that time.
That's another one of the things too.
Also, why did he completely change from wearing three-piece suits to robes?
That's a very good point too. I get the feeling that a lot of that is like pressure from the studio to lean into like a sellable image kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But so yeah, and again, like you talked about how they had to like combine characters. Like Dobby is in almost every single book after he shows up.
Yeah.
But for example, in the Goblet of Fire, he's the one that kind of like helps I think this is right. He's the one that shows Harry about gillyweed. But they make
Not a
Neville
long
do it.
bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, they make Neville do it. I think that's right. But there is a moment whenever Neville does something that Dobby was supposed to do. And there's a house elf in the books that never shows up in the movies ever. And there's a whole like subplot about house elves in the
girl.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was Barty Crouch's house elf.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever like so in the book of Goblet of Fire, Barty Crouch Sr. was the reason Barty Crouch Jr. had gotten out of prison. and they don't really go into huge detail like of this in the movie. His wife essentially trades places with Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah.
And the Dementors, seeing them as the same family, saw them as like they didn't distinguish them as people because they were the same family, something like that. And then he just kept Barty Crouch Jr. in a stasis state with a invisibility cloak on, and their elf kind of watched over Barty Crouch Jr. But at one point she does something, and Barty Crouch Sr. like frees her, and she's extremely upset because being free was like by house elves the worst thing in the world that could happen to you. There's a whole big subplot. So they weren't all like looked at as slaves. They didn't look at themselves as slaves, but that's not a popular opinion. But Hermione does look at them like, oh, they need to all be freed. And so she starts this thing called the House Elf Liberation Front. And it's a subplot that goes on throughout the entire books. And Harry and Ron are like, they don't want to be free. Leave it alone. And
we get none of that.
We get none of that. And we see this in the video games in Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts has multitudes of house elves. And they're the ones that like prepare the food and everything. And there's like an identical Great Hall under the Great Hall where they put all the food, and that magically transports the food to the tables in the Great Hall. And all house elves are the ones that do that. Anyways.
Shelley, I know you had a whole list of these types of things.
Oh, I had tons. He got a lot of Marco Polos from me of different ideas. But one of the ones that come to mind is The Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a multiple different things that they changed throughout. Like there are times when I'm wondering if he even read the book. Like
it's so weird. Like how different it was, like in comparison to how well he did with the Lord of the Rings. Same guy.
It's like it felt like he knew that he needed to finish all of it, but he was tired or something.
Or he was trying to stretch it into another 3 movies.
Well, he was, I think a lot of it, but when you change so much from it, you lose the quality of what you had. The whole idea that Legolas was even there was just stupid. He
there's a character that's not even in the books. There's multiples of those, right?
Yeah, Legolas wasn't there. Like he would have.
I'm talking about characters that don't exist in the books at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tauriel is not in the books, correct?
Not there. Correct. I'm pretty sure she wasn't. Potentially. I think she could have been around. I didn't read the Silmarillion or anything like that. I have.
No, she's not in the Silmarillion. And she's not in the Lord of the Rings. I have not read The Hobbit yet, so I don't know. But I did watch an animated movie, like the old 70s animated movie of it. Oh my
gosh, yes.
And
no, Tauriel is a fictional character created specifically for Peter Jackson's The Hobbit film trilogy.
Is the Pale Orc also created for it?
I thought he was a part of it.
Because he was not in that cartoon.
Let me see.
Azog
the Pale Orc. Go ahead. What was you saying? Were you getting it, Shelley?
Yeah. Azog the Defiler, known as the Pale Orc, is a major antagonist in the Hobbit film trilogy. Book versus film. He was long dead before the quest begins.
Yeah, it says he is described in the Lord of the Rings appendices as a brutal giant orc, chieftain of Moria, excuse me. I'm used to reading the Bible.
That's all he reads. That's the one book that he actually reads.
What a defense.
Mount Moriah.
It would have been pronounced that way in the Bible.
No, there's a Mount Moriah.
Oh, yeah. That makes more sense. It's not spelled that way, is it?
Don't think so.
There's no elf dwarf romance in the book.
No.
Do we do like go into the wood elf kingdom though, right?
Moriah has an H. That's the only difference. I'm just gonna say that.
Because I'm pretty sure that they actually do get trapped in there.
Yeah.
And they are taken prisoner for a while.
I will say the barrel river scene is cool though.
It is cool.
It is fun.
But Legolas,
and it should be a ride.
Jumping on all the pieces of the fallen bridge is not believable.
No. Him even being there is not believable because he's not even supposed to be there. They just wanted to put him in there because he's pretty to look at.
Well, and also because they're trying to bank off of the success of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
exactly.
Arkenstone, that in the book? That's the whole plot of the movie.
It is. It's honestly been a long time since I've read it. I
want to say the Arkenstone is not in the story.
Shining gemstones covered by dwarves. The Arkenstone, or the heart of the mountain, is a crucial, massive, white, shining gem discovered by dwarves beneath the lonely mountain in The Hobbit. It serves as a symbol of kingly authority, unity, and heritage for Thorin Oakenshield's line, though it ultimately drives him to greed-fueled obsession. Bilbo finds it and uses it to negotiate for peace.
It has no magical power. It is mentioned, but not a key plot point in Lord of the Rings. It doesn't have a direct confirmed connection to the Silmarillions. Cannot read.
Silmarillion.
No, it says Silmarils. We'll just go with what you just said.
The Silmarils.
Yes.
But yeah,
it is given by Bilbo though.
I know that there's some issues within Lord of the Rings too, but most people consider it a success considered how much there is to have.
It's like it's like a 70%, like, or maybe 65% accurate kind of thing.
Yeah, but I know that the Hobbit trilogy is completely. It's not even necessary to be a trilogy, is it?
No, it's supposed to be one book.
It's like a kid's book.
But it should. Yeah, it does. It didn't need to be stretched out that long.
Absolutely not.
Also, The Hobbit tells the story of Bilbo.
He's a musician.
He's bored during that movie, honestly.
He's a bard.
Bill Bard.
Billboard. Billboard. The bard.
Billboard the Bard.
He's got a chart of his favorite songs.
Yep. Bilbo getting the ring from Gollum is different in The Hobbit, isn't it?
He does find it. Bilbo does find it. And they do have that riddle.
Yeah. But like
so did the Riddler.
Because at least in the Lord of the Rings, they say that the way that he told the story originally wasn't the full truth on how he got the ring. Like something along the lines of how he found it or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but I also think we did. Did we get into like the Goblin Cleaver, or was that just like a thing to sell model swords? You know what I'm talking about? The whole Goblin Cleaver sword.
I think it was to just sell
Yeah.
swords,
So it's marketing. Um,
pretty much.
but yeah, I didn't hate them. A lot of people hated the Hobbits movies. I didn't hate them. They just weren't as good and they were way too CG. Um,
Which was so disappointing because in the other ones, they were all just makeup and they did a
well,
good job at making sure that
there was still CG in there,
there was CG, but a lot
like
of it was.
Gollum was
So
CG.
I know that there's some other stories and books and stuff too that have gone the same kind of way, right? Like,
Yeah.
didn't you say Ready Player One?
Ready Player One is very different in detail. The general story it kind of follows the same template,
Mm-hmm.
but this one was tough because Ready Player One, the whole book is based off of 80s nostalgia. And they do still
Yeah.
kind of do that in the movie. However, the book goes across multiple different like movie studios and companies that own properties and that kind of stuff. Whereas Warner Brothers was putting the movie out and they couldn't they couldn't touch like certain properties, right?
Mm.
So the whole like the way the movie starts, like you're jumping in and it's a race and he's using the DeLorean
Mm-hmm.
from Back to the Future as his race car, and then King Kong shows up. All that stuff's Warner Brothers properties, which is why they're able to use it. And that's the first trial, right? But in the book, the first trial
You tell
is
us.
totally different, and you guys will enjoy it because the first trial is Dungeons and Dragons,
Ooh.
That's
and
cool.
it's based off of the original uh, Tomb of Horrors game, and like the whole thing is you have to beat a Sararak, which is
Oh.
yeah. And but here's another thing. It kind of goes even more into detail about how the Oasis forms the economy because everybody goes to school in the Oasis and it kind of paints
Oh,
a bigger picture of
like the
like what
metaverse.
yeah, it's kind of like that. Um,
Like how they wanted to make it, remember?
yeah, yeah. And the main character, Wade, he's going to school and he's not what are they called? The people who are going after after they were called something. He's not one of the people that are chasing the whole treasure thing. Um,
He's not a chaser.
Seekers.
there's a
Is it
particular
seeker?
name for it. I can't remember what they called him. But he is one, but he's not able to do it because he doesn't have any money. So the only place he can go in the Oasis is the school. But he is a huge fan of Halliday, which is the guy who created the Oasis and started the
Mm.
whole Easter egg thing. Um, and he gets lucky because he figures out that the first trial is on the planet his school is at.
Mm.
Um, and then he realizes there's a place on this planet that looks like the entrance to the Tomb of Horrors in the D&D original thing. And it goes on like that. None of the
That's
trials,
cool.
like the
That's
only
cool.
trial that is remotely the same is the last one, where they have like a big like kaiju fight with people
Mm.
like using Mecha Godzilla and that kind of stuff. Um and the video game that they do is very similar.
So a few like I'm not going to talk on this one very long because this is a new one that's come out. But the housemaid is one that
Housemaid
had the
or
housemaid.
handmaid?
No, the housemaid.
That's
What's the
fine.
housemaid? I don't even know what this is.
It's a book and it was recently turned into a movie with Amanda Seyfried. You're thinking of The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
No, the housemaid is you got Amanda Seyfried and
It's
Uh,
pretty recent.
yeah, very, very recent. Hold on. I'm trying to remember that girl's name. The one that there was all that ruckus about because she had good genes. Sweeney.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh,
Sydney. Thank you. Sydney.
it's because she had good genes.
And
All that ruckus.
but the movie was good, but it wasn't as good as the book. I didn't read the entire book, but Jill did, and I heard big portions of it because I would listen while she was listening to it, and she would catch me up on stuff that happened in between, and and to the point where I was like, "You listen to it without me?" She's like, "Yeah," but then I'll be like, "Well, you got to tell me what happened." So the ending was a little different. Well, majorly different. There were things that happened that took days, and they, kind of talk through that in the book. Well, in the movie, it's like a few hours or like a
Yeah.
day, and it doesn't quite sell the
Oh,
same.
okay. That's a common
Um,
thing, but if it messes
it it
with the
messes
plot a little
with the
bit to
plot.
where it doesn't feel as intense or something like that, that's not good.
Yes, and that's exactly what they did.
So like
Um,
kind of relating that to Lord of the Rings. So like whenever Bilbo leaves from the party, from his 115th
mhm.
birthday party, right? From the time he leaves to the time that and like Frodo gets the ring from Gandalf and
Hmm.
everything, Gandalf leaves. From the time Gandalf leaves and comes back, where's the ring? Is it safe? Like
They made it sound like it was like that.
it's like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
Frodo is 30 something whenever Bilbo leaves. Whenever Gandalf shows back up, he's in his 50s. And
Oh wow.
so I think that one was okay to kind of
Yeah.
like omit because it wasn't really like all it was a bunch of Frodo doing normal life
Hmm.
kind of stuff. Another one for me, and I'm currently reading this book series, is The Wheel of Time. And this is like one of the most beloved fantasy series of all time.
I know the Wheel of Fortune.
Yep, yep, yep. One of the most beloved series of all time, TV series of all time.
I like that.
Um,
I like that laugh there, Shelley.
so this is one thing that really bothers me. They kind of take the bones of something and they stick to that, but they make all these like creative, like liberty decisions. So the Wheel of Time centers around this concept that there's a creator and he created this weaver's wheel that weaves the pattern of reality. And whenever somebody dies, the wheel will weave them back into existence. It's very reincarnation-y
Mm.
kind of thing, but not religiously reincarnation-y. And the main character is the whole thing centers around this guy called the Dragon Reborn. And there was a character named Luce Theron who was the most powerful magic user of all time, or supposedly. And the main character in the book ends up being that character reborn, which is a fulfilling of a lot of like prophecy for the end of times. Okay. So what's so bad about this, right? The way the book starts, there are three characters who are like characters that impact the weave that come
Not
out of
impact the
this.
weave.
Yeah, the weave.
You're
Um
just about to do that.
but impacting. Um but so they all come out of the same town, they're friends with each other, they're all born within a few weeks of each other. And it kind of like the whole thing centers around what is the significance of these three characters. One of them is the main character, but you don't really know where it's going. And two other characters end up going with them, and they're from the same town and everything like that. Those three characters are what are called Taviran. There's a lot of weird words like that in this book series, and they essentially are fate touch people that affect reality, that affect where the weave goes, rather than the weave affecting everybody else, right? And so, how does the show, the Amazon Prime, the Prime Video, start out? How does it start
We
out?
don't know.
But we don't know. I'm gonna tell you. It starts
Let
out
us
with
know.
another major character, who is what's called an Aes Sedai, who is a magic user. Which at this point in time, all magic users generally that are acceptable to society are generally women, because the men who were magic users go crazy because the male side of the magical force has been tainted by the evil character of the story, which is a really interesting concept. But she somehow miraculously is like, there are Taviran in this town. Doesn't show this, does not happen in the story at all. Doesn't show what led her to that point. There are three of them in the book, right? She says there are four. So they could add a woman to the Taviran.
Of course.
Yeah. And
Gotta get that woman in there.
yeah.
Because Lady Power.
And then like their relationship changes. Like the main character kind of has like this flirtation feelings for another character, but they end up never being together in the book, not once. But by the time the show starts out, they're sleeping together.
Dang.
Of course they are.
Like it's like these,
They went from nothing to bucking.
bucking, huh?
Okay, Buck.
And it's just kind of like this is a common trope in adaptations. Like they feel like, oh, this will be great in this way. This does not happen in the story, but let's make this happen, and let's feel like we can tell the story better than the person who created it, that made it actually a fandom. So that's another book series. Let's talk about one that was kind of well received, but I think is a bad adaptation. Did you guys ever play
Hunger
The Witcher?
Games. Oh,
No.
Did you
no,
guys ever play them?
no.
No.
All right. So the way this happened was book to video game to Henry Cavill TV show. That
Yeah.
all the women got up in arms about.
Up in arms. It's not
Up in arms.
That sounds like they was mad about it.
They were mad about it whenever Henry Cavill left.
When he left, I got you.
Yeah, and Liam Hemsworth was
Thought
was
you was
thrown in there.
meaning they was excited about him being.
No, they got all hot and bothered about it.
hot. And
That's what
bothered.
you was wanting me to
And then
say.
and then when he left, they got up in arms.
Yeah.
And then they got hot and bothered in their up in arms.
Wow. I've read all the books. They're okay. I think the guy that wrote them is a bit of a pervert because he sexualizes a underage girl quite a lot. But
how old?
16. Starts out as 15. She's 16 by the end of the story. And we have seen her get groped by both men and women. She is in a bisexual relationship. At the beginning of the last book, she's naked in a lake. Very, very
That
inappropriate.
sounds like a book in and of itself. Naked in a lake.
Naked in a lake.
You're the book. Naked in a lake.
You've heard of Naked and Afraid? Well, now there's
Naked in a lake. So the thing about this series is that the adaptations would take like key things from the book and just put them in a whole different story that's not about the book. That's not even close to the book. Also, characters. There's this character named Triss Marigold that people like to cosplay as. She's this fiery redheaded character. In the this is the one flip side, the one flip that I'll be like, hey, Ginger shouldn't have happened. That girl ain't no redhead in that book. Not even close.
What she
But
got? Black
she got
hair?
no, it is consistently, and I mean, like, it is said so many times, Jack. Her hair is beautiful chestnut hair, long and silky, over and over again. Chestnut hair, chestnut hair, chestnut hair, chestnut hair. So it's like a brown color, and then they cast the girl that looks like her. I mean, the girl is supposed to be her in the TV show. She's a mixed girl with like this frizzy reddish hair color. And
Well, that's weird.
Yep. Also, this is a Polish book. So like very Scandinavian type thing. So same like bit of a complaint that that Shelley had about How to Train Your Dragon off screen.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've all read these. I know that I feel like Buck, you and I have. Not sure about you, Shelley, but I feel like you. I know we've all watched the movies, at least some of them, and that's the Twilight series.
Okay.
And those
I've not read
are.
it yet.
There's a cult following for those. There's a lot of people that still love them. There's a lot of people that think they were great. They're not. And there's a lot of people that think that the books were horribly written, but the books were still better than the movies.
Yes. Well, most of the movies. I will say I think that last one was good.
The last movie
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't actually happen in the books.
Well, the one part.
It's a major part.
It's like deep part.
Like, it's like the whole movie is we're going to show you what is not seen.
You mean the
book.
climax?
Yeah, like the whole vision.
Yeah. Right, but I will. So okay, so we're talking about Breaking Dawn Part 2, which the fight scene with the Volturi, you don't see it in the books at all. What happens in the books is Alice goes up to Arrow and lets him see what would happen.
Right.
But it at least made sense though. Like
I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying it doesn't happen in the what we
don't visually see it.
We don't
But
know
going into that movie, I was like, if I don't see a fight at this part of it, this movie's going to be terrible. But they all had issues. Acting was pretty rough. It's just a story, Bella.
It's just a story, Bella.
You don't want to see me get angry. It'll get very ugly.
Yeah. And
do you think it's a casting issue, or do you just think it was just bad all around?
I think it was bad writing. Like sometimes direct lines from a novel don't really translate well to screen, but they're fine in the novel. I mean, but you also have a lot of people saying that Stephanie Myers just wasn't a good writer, and like the story itself wasn't that bad. Like I don't mind the story of Twilight. Like, I mean it's a YA romantasy kind of story, but I guess that's what it's kind of romantasy, but
romantasy.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and then you had a small, not major ones, but you did have some cast changes, like Bryce Dallas Howard takes over playing Victoria from whatever the girl's name, Rachel.
I never saw her in anything else.
And so there's some of those little things too, but some of the makeup looked awful. I felt like in some scenes, you know.
That one scene where he comes into the light in New Moon and Volterra at the end of the movie, he looks gross.
He said he looks
It was
gross.
just too much.
He did. He looked gross.
Well, Jasper
He
never
looked
looked like
rough.
Jasper.
No, I agree with you.
Jackson Rathbone, I don't think was the right cast for that character.
It'd be
The
nice
hair,
not wanting to
too.
kill you all the time.
No, I think
Guitar,
some of
don't
them,
hit that sphere. Sorry.
like right. I think
Oh, there's one.
I think Ashley Greene was a good cast for Alice. I do not think that Nikki Reed should have been Rosalie. I think Kellen Lutz was a good Emmett, but I don't
Yeah.
think Jackson was a good Jasper.
I think Carlisle was a good cast.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
He might have been a little too old, but the guy looked younger than he
How old was he
was.
supposed to be?
Carlisle's in his 20s in
Or
the
look-
story. Like
Yeah.
he's in his late 20s.
I could also understand why they would do that because he is considered the father of them. But he's supposed to look like he was supposed to be like in his 20s and they're all supposed to be in their teens.
I don't I'm not saying this because I don't like Taylor Lautner or anything like that, but I don't think Taylor Lautner was the best cast. But I also get the difficulty of this because the way that Jacob progresses in the books is he's kind of like short, a little shorter than Bella is at the beginning, or around the same height. And then by the next
Kristen
book,
Stewart was an awful cast.
She was an awful cast. I think a better character at the time would have been Alexis Bledel, from Gilmore Girls.
Oh,
I thought that she kind of fit the quirkiness, but not like the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
like the weirdness that was just Kristen Stewart. But so like, I almost felt like they should have just recast Jacob in the second movie,
which is what they were going to do. They were originally going to do that, but he bulked up and worked out and got into shape.
And but he was still a little too short. Because Jacob's supposed to be like 6'7".
Yeah, but there's ways around that.
They did that and still didn't make him big enough and tall
maybe
enough
maybe they needed taller boxes for him to stand on. I don't
taller boxes or platforms on his shoes or yeah, because they make Tom Cruise look way taller than he is.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. Tom Cruise is they all the time make him look like he's a lot taller than he is, and in reality, now he's what,
like 5'4",
I think, or it's either 5'4" or 5'6".
Oh, he's 5. It says he's 5'7". But he plays against a lot of tall actresses.
Yeah, like Nicole Kidman, who was like 5'11" or something like that.
The platform shoes he wears.
But now, Jack, you thought that Robert Pattinson wasn't a good cast for Edward, didn't you?
I don't remember, but I could see why I would think that. I know a lot of girls went gaga over him. What'd you say, Shelley?
He didn't even like the role, the movies anyway.
He did not, and I know a lot of girls went gaga over him.
Can you blame him though?
But can I blame him or can I blame them? Sound like you got a crush on him.
No, so can you blame him for not really liking the movies?
I know what you said.
That's
not what he said, Shelley. Shelley, we both know. We both heard him say, "Can you blame them?"
Wait. What is the context of where you're taking? I'm trying to understand why it sounds like I have a crush on him.
I had just said that I know a lot of the girls went gaga over him, and you went, "Can you blame them?"
It was like right after that.
Oh, that's why you said them. I was like, what do you mean?
But I know I never thought he was as handsome as everybody thought he was, especially his teeth.
Same.
But I
think his teeth are the reason he got he got the part because they kind of have like a vampire-ish shape
but they
to
also
him.
look crooked, but whatever.
Yeah.
He's British.
You'd think a vampire would like take care of his
All British
or
people have crooked teeth. You
They
know
don't got
that.
braces.
No.
Yeah. Get a
But
stretcher pad.
I think the thing that the cast that was the worst for me in that was Rosalie.
Yeah.
Not that the woman that played her isn't a gorgeous woman in real life, because she is, but it didn't translate well to
It didn't suit her.
Pale skinned, blonde headed person that's supposed to be the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. Because it's like the way they wanted her to look didn't accent how pretty the girl was in real life.
Right.
Um,
And while I thought Kellen Lutz was actually a decent cast for Emmett, I'll never get past when you and I worked at Hollister, and one of them, we said somebody looked like him. He's like, "Is he the one that looks like he's got Down syndrome?" I will never.
I never thought of that until now.
it's not that bad.
He doesn't.
But I hate that I can
actor.
see what he's talking about.
He is an actor. I don't think does, but in that role, yeah, kind of can see that.
Just a little bit.
Now, Shelley, you had mentioned to me two that are considered kind of successes as far as the movie franchises go, and that's Hunger Games and Divergent.
Yeah. They for the most part they are pretty good. But there are some parts of the book that they completely like split away from. Like specifically Hunger Games. Part of it is the mutts. They're supposed to have the faces of the people that they've killed plastered onto pretty much the body of these creatures. And I know part of it is due to the fact that it'd probably be very difficult to do and also terrifying to see on film.
That's what kills Finnick, right?
Yeah. But like they could have at least leaned into it somehow, because they were supposed to look horrific. And they just look like they could potentially be wolvish, just scary, but like not traumatic as much as they were supposed to be.
They also show up in book one, but they're not in the first movie at all, right?
Right.
Because they're on top of the cornucopia.
Yeah.
In the first Hunger Games, and they're trying to get up there to them, and they can't. Yeah, I'm not like a big Hunger Games fan. I actually
Me neither.
got like a quarter of the way through Mockingjay, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this enough to continue. And I've not done that with many books, but I think that's just because I hate Katniss Everdeen.
Like in the book,
Jill likes the movie version, I think, better than the book.
Yeah, I can see
the movie version is better than the book version of her. I don't have a problem with Jennifer Lawrence. I think it's fine, like the way she looks or whatever. Being in her head sucked.
In the books?
Yes. And I was like, this story would have been way better if Peeta was the main character. Would have been way better. But that was a very similar thing. I think Divergent had the same problem. I started to read it and I was like, I don't like being in this girl's head, so I'm not gonna finish reading it. I didn't finish. I didn't make it through the first book.
And the thing is, they were written or weren't they released around the same time? For one,
around the same time,
and so they really did have a lot of the same feel, and I think it like in a lot of different ways. Obviously, different world. They don't have the games or anything in Divergent, but it definitely had the division within the different worlds or within the world. One of the things that was different though was how the cat looked too in Hunger Games.
The cat.
The cat was described on the
Different
Buttercup,
colors.
different colors. Even how it looked was supposed to be like one of the ugliest cats you'd ever see, pretty much.
I don't even remember the cat.
It's Primrose's cat.
Oh,
It did black and white or something, but in the book it's ginger.
It's like a ginger.
But you said that he was standing on top of the what?
cornucopia.
Yeah.
I thought you said cornucopia, cornucopia.
I might have accidentally done that.
And I was like, I know he didn't say that like that. I'm gonna call him out, but I wanted to let y'all finish saying.
Thanks for bringing that back up 10 minutes later.
It ain't no 10 minutes.
I know, but I have to exaggerate.
I know. You should have left it there. I know.
I know.
And then the Divergent ones.
Oh, what was different about that? I know that there was different aspects. Mainly just I felt like her character was just very different. It just seemed very different in the book and the movie. And different aspects.
Even in the movie, so.
Well, that too, but even worse.
Divergent is Divergent considered a successful adaptation, like film adaptation?
I mean, they did well. I mean, like
but I don't think it was successful though.
Film, I don't know. I think the first one or two did all right. I don't know how many there are. We're running low on our time.
Yeah. Let's talk about one more.
Well, we've
only 14 more.
We've got 80,000, but we've only talked about really books up to this point.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw some at you. There's one book we haven't talked about, and this is the important one because
by your face, I feel like it's going to be very important.
It is. The movie adaptation was horrible, and I can't believe they did the Cat in the Hat that way.
Oh man. Dakota Fanning, man. How do you go wrong with Dakota Fanning?
I didn't know we were going with that. I didn't know what to expect, but I know that was not it.
It was a horrible movie, but
it failed. It failed where the Grinch made leaps and bounds.
Mike Myers did not want to do the movie, and that's why.
Yeah, it was a studio obligation.
Yeah, but
well, that makes a whole lot more sense now.
And so Mary Poppins, the new Mary Poppins, I was not a big fan of the new Mary Poppins.
Trash.
But then you have
not memorable for me.
Yeah, so Bewitched, the movie Bewitched, came out.
I'm Darren. Darren, they recast Darren twice and nobody noticed.
Only once, but they recast him on the original series and nobody noticed. They did. People did notice. However, I did not for the longest time realize that they recast Larry Tate's wife. And then when I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, that is a different actress in the original. But so the movie came out in 2005. The whole idea is that they're going to reboot Bewitched. It's going to be a new show about Bewitched. They're going to redo it. And when they do, oh no, they accidentally cast a real witch who really wants to live the human life, the mortal life. And oh, the comedy that ensues. But the thing is, bug your face. It's just, and here's the thing. I will say this. all these other ones we've talked about them, and we're like, we're not good. I will actually watch this movie. I was a huge fan of Bewitched the series. I will watch this movie, but I also have to watch it as its own thing, if that makes sense.
Like separate it from its.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, Will Ferrell was a horrible cast. He should not have played Darren. Well,
Yeah.
he should not have played the guy that's supposed to play Darren.
Sherpa! Sorry.
Seriously, I've not seen this at all.
I own it.
I think that's the reason why I consider it a bad adaptation.
Yeah. Jim Carrey, I think, would have been a better choice because he looks like the original.
He actually kind of looks like the original guy.
Original Darren.
I can see that now. You say that.
But I feel like adaptations where it's like, hey, we're gonna do this, but we're gonna make it like the original property exists as a property in the remake of this, adaptation of this IP. I feel like
the new Matlock, which is phenomenal.
But it's still that kind of the concept bothers me though. Like and it may be phenomenal, and I'm not saying that it's not. But so another example of this is that new Anacondas movie with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I haven't seen it either, but the whole movie it's Anaconda, and they're like, we're gonna remake Anaconda.
Oh,
and they do it as a comedy.
Anaconda don't. Sorry, I got all in my head now.
She said, "My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns
on.
Do sit-ups, but please don't do that."
But so like, I feel like people don't want like remakes of or something or adaptations of something where you don't actually get an actual adaptation.
The actual adaptation, yeah.
It doesn't mean that it can't be good.
Let me tell you why it works for
Matlock.
Her character, and you learned this in the first episode, so it's not really a spoiler. Her name's not actually Matlock. It is a fake name that she takes on, and that's how she introduces herself. When she walks in, she says, they're not recreating it. She is an actual lawyer, and she's going in and she says, "My name's Maddie Matlock, like the old TV show." And she plays off of this, but that's not her real name, and nobody knows that. It's a character that she's playing, like that she puts on. And so it works in that, and they've just used the name to further this to build this, off of it. Which I love the show, but
irritates me.
I do think that they could have made it so that she was like his niece or
I was about
daughter
to say,
or something.
Like, that would have been very intriguing, actually.
And even if it wasn't her name, but she used his name.
Yeah. Like same universe.
Right.
Same universe, something like that.
But it doesn't. It's not a huge point in the thing. Other than that's just the name.
I'm not a huge fan of the concept of like hijacking something that has a huge fandom just to tell a story that is nowhere close to those, like the story that this thing that has a fandom exists in. Like I feel like that's very much what Joker the movie did.
Yeah.
Walking Fame. Like, it's actually a good movie. It's a great movie. But in my opinion, they could have just made him not the Joker and made it not in Gotham, and it would still been a great movie. Seeing him go down this like whole thing, but no, they had to ride off of Batman and Gotham, like to essentially propel the movie to do what they wanted to do, even though it's not telling anything close to those kinds of stories. And So I don't know. It just again they can be great. I just don't really like it.
Yeah.
And they're remaking The Burbs. They started.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Beverly's actually started watching it, but Burbs is a movie that is now being a TV show. Odd fact here. I haven't watched it, but I saw like the little trailer for it, and the house that they're using is the Munster house from the
Really?
original Munster TV show. Yeah.
I used to watch the movie all the time because I had the VHS as a kid.
Yeah, and you can only watch things that you had. You watch
Well,
the same movies a lot of times because you owned them or you rented them.
yeah. Well, I watched.
You did.
I would a lot of times I'd rent the same
You didn't
movie.
have cable. It's okay.
I didn't have cable. But I think this is why I so gravitate towards movies more than shows so much.
Probably. I grew up watching a lot of shows, and to me, a lot of times shows do not bode well when you try to make them into a movie, especially if you try to change the core of the show. For example, here's two of them. Dark Shadows was a horror genre.
Yeah.
Like Addams Family genre kind of. Was it as funny as it wasn't funny though?
It wasn't funny. It wasn't a sitcom. It was a soap opera. But it was a dark one. It had vampires and witches and all this kind of stuff. Then they turned it into a movie and treated it like it was a sitcom.
Yeah.
And tried to make it funny. And it ruined it. It ruined the integrity of what you have because you're trying to make it into something that does fit into the world with the Munsters or the Adamses.
Did Tim Burton do it?
It has its feel, but I don't.
It does have the feel.
I mean, the staple thing that makes you be like, "Hey, he did it," was that Johnny Depp was in it, but
Helena Bonham Carter.
She's the mom, right?
No, she's the doctor.
Okay, but the villain is Eva Green, correct?
Yes. Let's see. Director. It is Tim Burton.
Tim Burton trying to be relevant still.
And the other one that does the same kind of things for me, kind of did the same thing. Actually, there was two I can think of that came out around the same time, and I know you and I went and saw at least one of them. One of them is the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah.
Where they tried to make it into this kind of sitcom and dumb them down, and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And one that I didn't really watch a lot.
Do it.
Was Starsky and Hutch.
Do it.
You remember, did we go see Starsky and Hutch? I think we did.
I think we watched it at your house together. I don't think we saw it in theaters. I think we rented it and watched it at your house together.
It was not good either. And it was all in that same, these are not really...
I know a lot more about grass.
These are not sitcoms, but they tried to make them funny, and it's just not the same thing.
It was a thing they were trying to do at the time, particularly, too.
It was. Versus, though, when you take the Beverly Hillbillies and it turned into a comedic movie, it worked.
Well, the Beverly Hillbillies was a comedic show.
It was.
That's why I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, sometimes...
That was my point saying that.
Sometimes...
That was my point in saying that.
Hey, was that your point,
That's why...
Jack?
That was why I actually... I said that. Because it was a sitcom that they took.
Yeah.
That was why...
I think it's better whenever they make it match the same feel. Just kidding. Oh. So sometimes it does work to flip things on their heads. There are plenty of things that work that way. But so like,
just don't flip Shelly on her back.
No, she won't get up.
Don't do that.
I think that Bel Air did a pretty good job, didn't it?
I don't really know.
I didn't watch
Some
it,
people liked it, some people didn't. It was
I watched bits and pieces.
Was it good?
but I think it was.
No,
I thought it was received well. But I
However, then
think
you got
people
Charmed.
loved the concept, though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
doing a serious version of the Fresh Prince.
Yeah. I just don't know
Charmed.
how it works because the whole thing is built off of kind of Will's
Quirkiness?
comedic. Yeah. Charmed was different in that they tried to match the pace, but then they tried to bring in, I think it was too much of the woke. They tried to bring in too much change. They weren't sisters, and like that was the whole
Oh, I
point
didn't
of
know they weren't sisters.
I don't think they're sisters. They're all different colors.
so
Which makes it.
That would be
that makes it
weird.
very difficult.
But we're really hitting our time.
Well, I just want to say that I think it's the best adaptation
You tell us.
is the M. Night Shyamalan version of The Last Airbender.
Last
Yes, it's
Airbender.
so good.
That was
Don't hit that sphere.
fantastic.
My favorite part was just Jackson Rathbone.
He should be in every movie.
Yes, he should.
Yep.
The whole
And the
thing
fact they
with
called him Ong.
Ong instead
was
of Aang.
absolutely stupid.
My name is Ong. And he had no personality. I really feel like that character just
12-year-old
really
kid.
needed no personality.
He had nothing. He like his in the cartoon, like his character progressed into being more serious. But he's a 12-year-old child.
I mean, he's
but
still not like crazy serious. He just has serious moments, you know?
exactly. But Sokka, he was supposed to be the
Comedic relief.
Goof.
Yeah. Because
I'm the guy that everybody says has the boomerang guy thing. I'm the boomerang guy. What am I without my boomerang?
and the cactus juice and all of that.
But no, it was Sokka. Because that's what they called him in the movie, Sokka.
Yeah. Because he soaked a lot of the energy out.
There are right ways and wrong ways to do movie adaptations of books, of other properties.
Anything.
Check with the fans. Check with the people who actually are already interested and love the stuff, because if you don't, what you're going to create is probably not going to be well received or liked by them.
Yeah.
And they're the ones you've got to appease.
The Rings of
problem
Power.
is oh my land, let's not even go there. But like the producers, a lot of them talk about how they actually really liked the material. Did they read it? Did they watch
For which
it?
one?
For just any of them.
All of them?
All of them. And so it's like
I think like we look at Marvel, like Marvel being
what?
I hate you.
What did you say?
You don't.
We look at Marvel's
You love me, bud.
decline, like the MCU over the last 6 years, and it kind of coincides with the executives telling writers to not read stories or hiring writers who have never read the comics. And all that's going to do is detach them from what makes people love these intellectual properties. I think it's extremely arrogant to think that you could tell the story better, especially particularly from novels, like novelizations or original pieces being novels. But it's one thing to do something
that kind of goes along with what we were talking about with Harry Potter. He hasn't read the books.
Yeah, at least from what I read, he had not read the books.
Hi, my name's Buck, and you just heard us make a really big claim that the showrunner Andy Greenwald of the upcoming Harry Potter series on HBO had never read the books. Now, here at Down and Down, we believe in accountability. We believe that if we say something, that we should be held to a standard if we get something wrong about that. So, all that being said, yeah, Andy Greenwald absolutely did not read the books. He admitted to that on his 2024 podcast. He had not read all the books of the Harry Potter series. So that means that they made casting decisions, they made story decisions, they made decisions in the screenwriting that they may not even know would actually impact the rest of the story in the future without having read the books. Food for thought. We thought you should know. Do with that what you will.
Well, you've read more than him then. Because you said from what I've read, he hasn't read the book.
About him. Like,
I know. It was the joke, Buck.
The jokes suck.
No.
No, you just decided it didn't suck.
I know it didn't suck. What was it she said a while ago? He's so good looking.
Love that. But
okay.
I think it's getting a little late, guys.
It is.
Let's just suck off. Oh man.
Well, this has been a very interesting conversation that we've had.
Yeah. Just respect the original thing. You don't, when it comes to comic books or whatever, you don't have to tell the exact same story, but don't just crap on it either. Like, but also don't be afraid. Like, it'd be like if they did a Under the Red Hood movie live adaptation and did it exactly the way the comics were, nobody'd be like, "Oh, this sucks. I hate that this is so similar."
Like, they don't talk like that and make that face that nobody else could see.
Yeah. That's what I imagine people that would do that look and sound like.
Oh. They have to use their imaginations, our listeners.
Yeah. Well, they have to use their imagination 100% of the time.
Don't crap on the fans. Don't crap on the fans.
Because then that will get flung everywhere.
And because we're going to get mad. I'm going to have to take a shower.
And crap doesn't mix with electronics very well.
It don't. And I'm going to save that crap to throw at y'all. No, don't crap on your fans because they are the ones you've got to appease. And, this goes even more than just Badaptations because this is off the topic, but we're going to say it and then we're going to go. But remember back in 2020 when Marvel, because since you're talking about Marvel, and they were creating those superheroes.
New Warriors.
Yes, the New Warriors. And then they
shamed the fans.
Yeah, they did. They were named Safe Space and B Negative and Snowflake and Screen Time, and the one that had the coolest name was Trailblazer, but she was Dora the Explorer on steroids. Literally, she looked like she had taken steroids and gained a lot of weight. And
I'm a big girl with a backpack, magic backpack.
Sasha's superhero. Was a backpack did all the work, but.
She's a superhero because of her magic backpack.
And then they turned around. Everybody said that was awful. They were like, "This, you're literally like, do we look like a joke to you?" And
do you think that every time she used, like the way that it was going to go, like every time she used her power, she only got to choose between 3 items that would help her? Which one would help the most in this situation?
A rope.
It's like Mickey Mouse.
Well, that's Mickey Mouse Playhouse.
That's Mickey Mouse Playhouse. The O'Toodles, and he has 4.
But it was the same concept
because they has the mystery one. Oh, but yeah, y'all. I'm glad that we've had this discussion about Badaptations.
Badaptations.
Shelley, would you like some tea or something before you go? And Buck, would you lock the door?
You're the worst, Jack.
Just get out. I'll take that tea.
The disrespect level here is just so disrespectful.
I'll give you a hug before you go.
Before you kick me out the door.
Yeah, I say to the curb, but we're in the middle of the woods.
Find a girl.
Bye. I'm
Bye.
leaving.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Down and down the rabbit hole.